It's strange how the day can feel endless when you're at work and you keep telling yourself that the evening will finally belong to you. But the moment you step inside your home and drop your bag, the hours that were supposed to feel free suddenly dissolve into nothing. You imagine doing something meaningful after work, but instead you sink into the couch and pick up your phone, and minutes blur into an hour while your thumb scrolls without direction and your body stays completely still. This is usually the moment you tell yourself that you deserve the rest, but your mind quietly knows that this isn't real rest, and that uncomfortable feeling in your chest comes from realizing the evening is slipping away again. The real problem isn't laziness, and it isn't a lack of motivation. It's that your evenings are running on leftover energy that was never designed to support big decisions or ambitious plans. Most people try to fix this by forcing strict routines, but that approach collapses the moment your workday runs long or your mood dips, and then the guilt makes the evening feel even heavier than before. Here's the shift that changes everything. Your evening is not about managing time, it's about managing energy, because time stays the same while your capacity to use it quietly rises and falls. Think about how you actually feel when work ends. Your brain is overloaded from decisions, and asking it to immediately be creative or disciplined is like asking tired legs to sprint uphill. That's why the first part of a better evening isn't productivity, it's recovery. A short, intentional pause that tells your body the workday is actually over. This doesn't mean collapsing into distractions. It means doing something small and physical that marks a boundary, like changing clothes or stepping outside for a few minutes to reset your senses. Once that reset happens, your energy slowly comes back. And this is where people get confused because they assume meaningful evenings require huge effort, when in reality they start with very small, gentle actions. Maybe it's writing one sentence in a notebook or stretching for 2 minutes on the floor. These actions look insignificant, but they rebuild trust with yourself after a long day of spending energy for others. If you've ever thought this sounds too simple to work, you're not wrong to doubt it, but the truth is that evenings don't change through dramatic overhauls. They change when you stop fighting your energy and start listening to it. And that's where the next part begins. Start with the smallest switch you can actually repeat on a bad day. The shutdown ritual: you stand up, you inhale slowly, and you physically close your laptop like you're ending a meeting with your own brain. And then you say one plain sentence out loud: work is done, because your body believes actions more than promises. Right after that, you need a bridge, not a wall, so you grab your keys and take a short transition walk, even if it's only to the corner and back. And while your feet move, your mind stops replaying emails and starts noticing the world again. Now the evening stops being one giant blob of free time, and you break it into a 90-minute block. Because your brain likes containers, so you set a kitchen timer for 90 minutes, and you choose only one lane: recovery first, growth second, connection last. Recovery is not scroll until numb. Recovery is a decision-free landing, like taking a hot shower or washing your face and changing into home clothes. And the goal is simple: your nervous system should feel like it just stepped out of traffic and into a quiet room. Then growth becomes tiny and specific, not heroic. You open a notebook and write one line: tonight I'm practicing for 5 minutes, and you stop there on purpose because the point is to start the engine, not to finish the whole road. Here's a concrete example. If you want to exercise but you're exhausted, you don't negotiate with yourself for an hour. You do a movement snack, 60 seconds right now, and you drop to the living room floor for a short stretch while the timer runs. Because small movement often creates energy instead of consuming it. Now we handle the real evening thief, the screen you plug your charger in the kitchen, not next to the couch. Because distance is a boundary your tired brain can understand, and you put your phone in a drawer like you're putting away a tool, not losing a friend. And before you say, "I can't, I need my phone," I get it, so do this version. Choose 3 essential apps for the evening and move everything else off your home screen. And if you want a bolder move, delete one app tonight as an experiment, because most of the time you won't even remember what you removed tomorrow. Next comes the analog hour, 1 hour before bed, devices sleep before you. Do you place a simple alarm clock on your bedside table so you're not waking up inside your phone? and you walk the phone back to that kitchen drawer again, like closing a gate so your future self doesn't wander. Now we make the space itself help you, because your environment is louder than your motivation. You dim the lights. You clear one surface and you place one comforting object where your eyes naturally land, like a mug or a small book. And suddenly the room stops feeling like a second office and starts feeling like a place where you can actually breathe. This is where the mind catches up. You write a short note to your morning self, not about tasks, but about feelings. Tomorrow I want calm focus. And you underline it once, and then you eliminate one decision for tomorrow. Laying out clothes on a chair, because tired brains make bad bargains at night. And when the evening starts to wobble, because it will, you don't start over. You do a 2-minute reset, you stand up, you adjust the lighting, you clear one small mess, and you return to the next block like you're guiding a puppy back to its bed. Because once you can stabilize the evening, you can finally decide what your nights are actually for. And that's what we'll build in the final part. Now, you're not just trying harder, you're designing a system that holds you up when willpower collapses, and the next upgrade is noticing your evening energy curve instead of pretending you're the same person at 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. So you take a small, sticky note and you write 3-time windows: DIP, rise, descend. Because naming the pattern is the first way you stop being surprised by it. In the dip window, you protect yourself from your worst default. You pick one recovery action that is too easy to fail, like tea, shower, or a 10-minute lie down with the lights low. And when your brain whispers, just check one thing, you answer with one sentence. Not during the dip, like you're setting a boundary with a child who keeps testing it. Then the rise window arrives, and it's your best chance for growth, so you choose a one project, one tool rule. Because too many options turns the evening into a negotiation, and you set out one object that matches your goal. A book, a sketch pad, a resistance band, something physical that makes the next action obvious. Here's example number 2. You want to learn something after work, but you keep waiting to feel ready, so you open a video or a lesson, and you set a timer for 10 minutes only. And when the timer ends, you stop on purpose. Because stopping while it's still easy is what makes you come back tomorrow. This is where a lot of people misunderstand me. They hear structure, and they think I'm trying to turn their evenings into a second job. But the point is the opposite. The structure protects your freedom. Because when you don't decide what your evening is for, your phone decides for you. Now, the third block, connection, is where you stop treating people like an afterthought. You check your social battery before you say yes to anything, the same way you check a phone battery before leaving the house. And if you're drained, you choose one small connection instead of 10 shallow ones. A short call, a walk with your partner, or dinner without screens. If you do go social, build a recharge buffer on purpose. You come home and you take 15 quiet minutes before you do anything else, like changing clothes and drinking water, because even good conversations cost energy, and you don't want your best evenings to end with that hollow, overextended feeling. Now let's make it stick with micro habit stacking. You hang your keys, you take off your shoes, and you change into home clothes in the same order every time. And you don't do it because you love routines. You do it because repetition turns your evening into a track your body can follow even when your mind is tired. And if you want a simple keystone habit, steal mine. Make a cup of tea, because the kettle boiling becomes a soundtrack that signals, the evening is mine now. And while you wait, you do one mindful thing. You feel the warmth of the mug, or you name your current emotion in a single word. Not to fix it, just to notice it. Before bed, you do the 3-question audit, and it's faster than brushing your teeth. You write one word for what energized you, one word for what drained you, and one word for what surprised you. And if your answers keep saying scrolling and numb, you don't shame yourself. You treat it like data, because data gives you choices. And here's the closing message I wish someone told me earlier. Your evening is not a debt you pay to tomorrow. It's an investment you make in tomorrow's energy. So when you protect it with boundaries and fill it with small, honest actions, you stop living like the day ends at 6, and you start living like your life actually belongs to you. Tonight, don't try to fix everything. Choose one ritual, one block, and one boundary, and do them even at 80%, because the goal isn't a perfect evening, It's a repeatable one. And in the next part, we'll take this system and build a weekly plan that survives real life.